I've tried to get certain rolls for this thing, and I got what I needed, but not everything. The events kind of made it difficult. But Glacioclasm is one of the ones to go for this event for a couple reasons. There's a lot of PvE and PvP play, and PvP, it's really kind of a scary one. First, we need to talk about what went away, what was added, because all these swaps dramatically changed what we want to go for. What went away in the third, Repulsor Brace, Killing Wind, Heating Up. In the fourth, Successful Warm-Up, Golden Tricorn, Eye of the Storm, Fragile Focus. And they added in the third, Air Trigger, Envious Assassin, Lone Wolf. In the fourth, Vorpal Weapon, Closing Time, Desperate Measures, Withering Gaze. It's got a really good perk pool this time around. You win some, you lose some with these perks, but these swaps did change the weapon drastically. No more, let's say, Repulsor Overshields, Overflow Golden Tricorn, or in the Crucible, Heating Up Successful Warm-Up. Because something like this, and here's one that I have, with that old special ammo system, or even when we had the special ammo meter, I mean, you had multiple shots that you could use this for. Get it down, it gets more stable, it gets more accurate, it's a faster charge time. That's all changed. A lot harder to do that. So what did that change into? Well, first, let's start with PvE. We have the Dawning Surprise Origin trait in one instance for PvE, otherwise it's going to be Oman Fluid Dynamics. You get multi-kills, you need 100 points, 16.6% count for adds, all others pretty much grant 50%. You reach 100 points, the Dawning Gift is dropped on the ground, so you need 7 adds. Where this works is with Reservoir Burst. The explosion can grab way more collaterals, get you more progress, that's where it can be good, otherwise, Oman's going to be better because you're just not going to do 7 straight shots and waste your ammo on adds. All that said, we still have Overflow Reservoir Burst, which is great. And remember with Reservoir Burst, if you can abuse it, that shot's 25% more damage. It's more than Vorpal, on par with a lot of things. Any rounds above the top of the mag, or that top shot, the first one, you get that damage. And you still have its add clear capabilities on lower tier adds. There's also Subsistence Reservoir Burst. This is really good on lower tier enemies. Just kind of mow through them, always refills the mag, always have Reservoir Burst. As long as you get kills. Like, all of that still works, there's still things to go for, they're still great. But this time around, maybe Envious Assassin controlled burst, or Overflow controlled burst, for a little damage fallback and damage phases. But a key one to really focus on this year is Withering Gaze. And I look at this one a little bit differently. This rule is just slide Withering Gaze, which is okay in PvE, or if you do slide Reservoir Burst, it's okay. Great, actually, because you don't really care about the range and how it interacts with the fusion rifle. You're using it to get that ammo back. But new perk, not on too many weapons. You aim down sights for 1.5 seconds, 1.4 seconds enhanced. The burst is going to apply weaken. Now, we're spoiled with concussive reload. RGLs are doing that freely, and everyone's doing it. I'm doing it. But when that goes away, this is going to be an extremely useful tool to have, like especially when fusions are for champions, because you're going to start off a damage rotation with this. Shoot the Withering Gaze shot, weaken, go to your primary, go to your bait and switch GL. Very, very good. But as a fallback, again, how I look at it, weakens a 15% debuff. So you're mainly using Withering Gaze to do this big burst hit, then weaken, go to your bait and switch things. But if you have to fall back on Glacioclasm at that point, they're weakened, it's basically Vorpal Weapon now. That's not bad. So to me, the main things to go for, Withering Gaze. It doesn't really matter what's in the third. Subsistence, Slide, Overflow, Lone Wolf ADS, Air Trigger even. Like, it all works. You're mainly using it for Withering Gaze, though. And it's going to get a lot better when the artifact changes. But also, be looking for the old tried and true. They're still worth getting. Subsistence Reservoir, Overflow Controlled Burst, things like that. But we also have Air Trigger. You better believe I got it. Air Trigger Reservoir Burst. And what's cool about this one, just like we've done with Volt Shot, Kill Clip, Chill Clip, great combo. And this is going to be kind of a slept on one because we have the ones from the past, maybe don't want to grind for it. If you get Air Trigger Reservoir, I would keep it because you have really quick access to that reservoir, 25% more damage. With that damage, you have your add clear capability for the Reservoir Burst, but a lot more time using 25% more. Maybe you don't have a brick to run over. Maybe Overflow isn't procced. Maybe the enemies around you are beefy. Subsistence isn't going to work. But with this, you can always shoot, Air Trigger Reload, shoot, Air Trigger Reload. All of this works. It's a great PvE weapon, multiple things to look for. Highlighted by Withering Gaze. Now for the Crucible, it starts with closing time. It actually kind of starts and ends with closing time because the game has changed. We went over earlier, I mean, the ammo, speed, successful warm-up, heating up accuracy, all that mattered, but now you spawn with one shot, there's ammo bricks, you get primary kills, you get one shot off the ground. With closing time, just this perk alone, like this one, you can have anything in the third. I do have a Lone Wolf one, which I'll be talking about, but it could be subsistence closing time, doesn't matter, because closing time is there. It gives you essentially like 3 perks into one, it gives you like threat 2 on a switch, which is huge. Even with the longer charge time, you bring it out like backup plan almost, without that charge time, of course. It's just very, very fast handling. You get 20 range, which is massive on a high impact fusion to get to the cap of what a fusion rifle can do, 30 to 50 handling, and accuracy help. And nowadays, since we're not really focusing on speed with successful warm-up, it's not there anymore, accuracy is a really good bet to start focusing in on to dial in. Closing time's ridiculous. You're also adding in Omlon Fluid Dynamics. It gives 20 stability. So just closing time, one perk with the origin trait, 20 stability, 20 range, it's just there with handling and accuracy help. But what to pair with it, it comes down to two options, Lone Wolf and Under Pressure. You will be happy with either one, but I believe that there is one that is going to kind of be the better pairing. Lone Wolf closing time is one of the best PvP combinations in Destiny 2, and it will be, even if closing time gets nerfed. It's never bad. With Lone Wolf, you get 10 aim assist, 10 AE, and a 0.9 ADS multiplier. It is doubled when you're a true Lone Wolf. So 20 aim assist, 20 AE, and even more ADS. And that's pairing with the closing time handling multiplier. So the ADS is kind of stacking and getting better. Not only is it switching faster, it's ADSing a lot faster. But with Lone Wolf, in the end, the ADS is really, really good, but honestly, closing time covers. You don't really care about the 20 AE. Maybe some of you do, you mad lads. It's mostly being used for the 20 aim assist. Now, let's compare that to Under Pressure. Improved stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower. So it's arguably going to be better. And here's why. And it's also how it rolls to you, right? Because I look at it like this. You have double accuracy cone size perks. Closing time gives it, Under Pressure gives a ton of it. And enhanced Under Pressure gives even more. 10% decrease accuracy cone size on closing time and about 25% for Under Pressure. Omlon Fluid Dynamics is giving 20 stability because it is the last ammo in the round. That's all you start with, 1. Under Pressure, also the last bullet, so it's at max effect, which is key here. It is key. You always have one bullet the majority of the time, so you're getting 30 stability. So that one shot, Under Pressure closing time, is 50 stability, 20 range, 25% accuracy cone size help from Under Pressure, 10% accuracy cone size help from closing time, opposed to 20 aim assist. I believe the 30 extra ability, double accuracy cone help pairing, outweighs the 20 aim assist. In this particular instance, like every weapon's different, every breakdown's different. Ideally, you're going to get to 100 range. That's projection fuse. Most of the time, you're running a ballistics mod after you enhance it to help that range and stability. You're going to get the range up, get the stability up. But in the end, both options you're going to be really happy with, Lone Wolf or Under Pressure with closing time. I would prefer Under Pressure. I do have a Lone Wolf closing time one, and it fell short. It's 89 range. There's a ton that can make this thing better, but even with that, it's legit one of the most consistent fusions I've ever used. Because of the range, the accuracy, in this case, it's got the aim assist, and it will be better, even more consistent when I get this thing to 100 range, with either one, Lone Wolf or Under Pressure. But luckily, there's a ton of time with this event. I'm going to continue grinding for them, and I got enough to show what I wanted to, needed to, but I'm not done grinding for it because it's just all RNG from here. But what is nice when it drops, in PvE, you have multiple things that work, that can be viable. The chase this year, opposed to previous, is Withering Gaze. And think of it as that bait and switch loop. Worst case scenario, it just turns into a vorpal weapon, which is nice. PvP-wise, closing time. You work back from there. Even if closing time gets nerfed, maybe to half of what it gives, it's still going to be the best perk in that column. It's that strong. It's that good. And just like a lot of weapons, Glacioclasm got better. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Let's talk about Glacioclasm down below. I really wonder what they do with certain perks in the future. I wonder what they do with the special ammo system, if that meter's ever coming back. And even if it does, this is still going to be great. And what's nice about Glacioclasm is it gets to caps pretty easily, especially with closing time being there. Omlon Fluid Dynamics, it's just a beast. Good luck on your grind. Let's talk about it down below. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.